So I'm gonna record now. Oh, Heidi, hello. Thank you. All right. You're getting everyone in. All righty.
To have my first Zoom meeting of the day to see how wild my hair turned out on the between now.
It looks great, Amy.
Thank
Looks
you,
great.
thank you.
I was just telling Shannon, I like wake up, take the kids to school, and then time just zips by, and suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, we gotta start this meeting in 2 minutes. It just happens. All righty. We are gonna get this party started. Welcome everyone to our 25-26 ECN season. We're here. It's exciting. It's the first meeting for the season. We are so grateful for everybody who's come in. We've got new people, we've got returning people and agencies, and it's just super exciting to be here today and kick off this season. We've got lots of fun stuff going on, lots of exciting things to look forward to this year. So we're going to get after it today and just welcome people as they come in. So today for our agenda, we're going to do some welcome and introductions. As I mentioned, we've got some new people. It's just great to see who's here with us today. We're going to do some breakout rooms for our community updates. We're going to talk about our season plans for this year, what our meeting season can look like. And then we'll do some reflections on our summer interviews and talk a little bit about the ECN evaluation and the recommendations that were given to us by the Stellar Group. Then we'll talk a little bit about the ECN Advisory Council retreat that we had in August, and also talk about our upcoming retreat, which is very exciting. And then we'll wrap up for the day. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and just do a round robin introduction. And so if everybody's got their name on their screen, we'll just kind of popcorn around. So after you introduce yourself, just go ahead and share your name, the agency that you're with, the community that you live in, and if you have a local early childhood coalition, go ahead and share that as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see everybody. So I'm Rand Honeman Keha. I am the partnerships lead here at the Alaska Pediatric Partnership, and I live here in Anchorage. So I'm going to pass it to Shannon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Parker. It's so great to see everybody after the long, I wish it was still summer break. It just came too fast and now the leaves are falling. So I am with Public Health with Women's Children Family Health. I'm the Early Childhood Systems Manager and Parents as Teachers State Grant Manager. And along with Rianne, we co-facilitate a couple of different groups in the state. So I'm going to go with Amy Simpson.
Hi, I'm Amy Simpson. I work for Programs for Infants and Children, which is the infant learning program that serves Anchorage and some villages around the Lake Iliamna area. What else was I supposed to say? So I'm in
Whatever you
Anchorage.
want
I
to.
live in Eagle River. I serve a lot of early childhood coalition groups. The Anchorage Early Childhood Coalition, I'm on that. I'm on IALPA, which is the Alaska Infant Learning Program Association group that serves birth to 3 across the state, and also a member of the Interagency Coordinating Council for the Governor's Council on Disabilities and Special Education. And I need to pass it along to someone else, is that right?
Yes.
How about Joan? I see Joan Lower's name there.
Hi, I'm Joan Lauer. I live in Girdwood. I'm part of the Girdwood Workforce Childcare Project, along with Crystal Hoke. And I'm also the president of Little Bears Playhouse Board of Directors. And we're very excited about the new building that we've been building. And I'll pass it on to Izzy.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm with AUIC here in Juneau, and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator, and our coalition is called the Partnership for Families and Children. And I'll pass it to Bailey.
Hi, I'm Bailey. I work with Noonikins Childcare in Kotzebue, Alaska. And I'll pass it to Rita if you're in here.
Hi, my name is Rita Short. I also live in Kotzebue, and I work with the Manilic Association, trying to open a child care center here in Kotzebue, and work with Tracy and Bailey with their Family Support Coalition. And I'll throw it to Tracy.
Hi, yeah, so I'm Tracy and Schaefer, and I'm in Kotzebue, and I'm with the Early Learning and Family Program. That's the infant learning program and the school district. And then we have the Family Support Coalition that is part of the Noonikins nonprofit, which is also our little childcare. And yeah, I just found out that I'm also part of the family resource group with Abby, so I'm super excited. So yeah,
Yay!
it's awesome.
That's very exciting.
I'm only
Congratulations.
part of these groups because of these people with immense patience that waited for me to be able to answer an email. So, and I'm so thankful to all of that. So anyway, that's me.
Amazing. Do you want to pass it to someone else, Tracy?
I will pass it to Anne.
Hey everybody, I'm Annie Shade. I'm with the Bristol Bay Native Association out in Bristol Bay, Dillingham. Our community work group is called the Early Childhood Interdisciplinary Team, or ICIT for short. And I'm also one of the FRC grantees. Thank you, Abby. Abby, you might as well go next.
Hi, everyone. Abby here. I'm representing SAFER, South Central Alliance for Family Resilience. We are the Parent Support Action Team down here on the Central Kenai Peninsula, actually under our 100% Communities umbrella. And then under that, we also have an Early Childhood Education Action Team that I'm very much a part of and sort of leading as well. But and then as they mentioned, I wear another hat in these meetings, just being part of the Alaska Impact Alliance and the Family Resource Center Network. To me, I view that as kind of like a sister statewide coalition for just supporting agencies that are working with families across the state. So super thankful that some of you guys were interested in joining that as well. So I'll pass it to Heather.
I was all ready and then I couldn't find the audio button. Heather Burke, I represent Kodiak Island. My agency, so we're the Kodiak Early Childhood Coalition here in Kodiak, and we represent the whole island, Arwen Boats and I. And let's see, I am a infant learning program coordinator here in Kodiak, but we represent the whole community, so not just infant learning. And let's see, Lisa, would you like to go next?
Sure. Had a feeling you were going to call on me. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Hodges, and I'm in Sitka with Center for Community. I'm the Infant Learning Program Coordinator here. And we are also part of the Early Childhood Coalition, which they're meeting right now as we speak. So I'll call on Nathan.
Morning, everyone. Afternoon, everyone, I guess. Nathan Moulton with the Hoona Indian Association. We live in Hoona. Not sure if we're part of a coalition yet. I think we might be affiliate members, but we're kind of new to the game. We are a THREAD grantee, and we just finished our 2,500 square foot child care facility in June, and we are actively in licensing currently. We've got a licensing application in. We have the DEC inspection in. We have to do some remodels on our kitchen. Come to find out, our engineers did not do us a lot of favors when they were designing our facility. And so now we've got to go back and do some rework. But it's the small stuff. And so we should hopefully be licensed, I would think, before the first of the year. Oh, and I'll assign Kasha.
Good afternoon, everybody. Akasha Moulton. I work for the Hoona Indian Association, live in Hoona. I am the Human Services Director, and I would just echo everything that Nathan had just said. And I will go ahead and pick Melanie Smith.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I run the Bloom program in Steward with Steward Prevention Coalition. I'm just shopping for a next baby shower coming up this Saturday. My Amazon order got canceled. They thought it was somebody else not using my card because it was a lot of stuff. But anyway, here's my card. Oh, you can't see it. Anyway, yeah, got all the stuff for our locally grown theme.
I'm gonna pass it to Casey for you, Melanie. Yeah.
Thank you, Rianne. Hi, I'm Casey Warner. I'm the program director for Happy Youth Programs and Educational Resources. We are a program under Seward Prevention Coalition. We are in Seward on the Kenai Peninsula, working to support the childcare sector in our area. Been making some good partnerships across the Kenai Peninsula, working with Abby and a couple others over in Homer. Yeah, excited to be here for another great season of ECN.
Hey, Heidi, how about you?
Hi, I'm Heidi Hoff. I'm the executive director with Alaska Center for Children and Adults, and I live in Fairbanks, and I think we're still working on trying to get our coalition going again. So,
Awesome. Thank you, Heidi. Robin.
I am Robin McComas. I'm the program lead for Help Me Grow Alaska. I live in Anchorage, but Help Me Grow services the whole state. So we are out there for everybody. And I will send it to Nicholas.
Thank you. I'm Nicholas. I'm the Hello Baby coordinator. We're a universal prevention initiative here in the Mat-Su Valley. I'm housed out of Mat-Su Services for Children and Adults, which is one partner on our coalition, which also includes local nonprofit service providers and healthcare providers. I also serve as a facilitator and member on the leadership committee for Rock Matsu, which is Raising Our Children with Kindness. And I always use the joke, our initiative is just in its infancy, and we just launched our pilot project this past summer at the community baby showers, and we are looking forward to growing our presence in the valley in the coming months. And I'm not entirely sure who hasn't gone yet. So if somebody wants to jump in.
Okay, I'll call on Tracy for you,
Thank you.
Nicholas. Thank you.
I gotta find my unmute button. Going back and forth from Teams to Zoom to meetings, all the things, figuring out where all the buttons are. Hi, I'm Tracy Adams. I am the Community Services Manager here at Thread. Thread is a statewide resource and referral agency here in Alaska. So I was born and raised out in Nome, but I currently live in Fairbanks. And yeah, we're excited to kick off another fun ECN season. And I am going to, oh goodness. I'm going to pass it to Mariah. Did Mariah go yet?
No, I haven't. My name is Mariah Neeser. I work closely with Shannon with the state, with the section of Women's Children Family Health. And I'm a program coordinator there, and I work with the preschool development grant. And I will pass it to, I think I saw Crystal, or she might have popped off. So I'm not sure who to pass it to.
I'm here. This is
Oh,
Crystal
perfect.
Oak, and I am in the Girdwood Workforce Child Care Project Coalition with, I'm the Girdwood Inc. component and with Joan Lauer and Little Bears. So, hello, everybody.
Awesome.
Okay, and also, yeah, I was late to jump in, so
That's
I don't know
okay.
who hasn't gone yet.
I've been keeping track. I think Veronica is one of our last folks to go.
Hi, I'm Veronica and I'm calling in from Nome. We do have a Norton Sound Early Child Coalition here in Nome that's kind of active, but a little bit dormant as well. So we're just, again, trying to find the people to keep that moving forward. I'm also the owner manager of an eye clinic here in Nome. And yeah, just happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see everybody today. I think we got everyone, lots of new faces. And if you, not every community does have early childhood coalition, but we know that there's some that have been there forever, and there's some that are brand new, and there's some, as Veronica said, that are kind of on again, off again. And so we just love to hear what type of coalitions are in each of the communities. So if you're, I know in Huna, you guys are just getting your feet wet in terms of getting stuff going with early childhood. So we're so happy that both of you are here with us for the Early Childhood Network, so that maybe one day there's a coalition that gets started, or up in Fairbanks being able to get it restarted. So we're going to, because we've got lots of stuff to talk about today, as you saw in our agenda. So Friday, I sent out the questions for community updates. So what we're going to do is do some breakout rooms and give you guys like 15 minutes to talk together and do our breakouts. And then we'll jump into the rest of our meeting here. So cue the Jeopardy music while I get this started. I really don't have any Jeopardy music, but okay, ready? We're gonna send you all. Okay, we'll put a timer. We'll do 15 minutes, and then I'll let you all know whenever we're at 1 minute. Okay, we'll see you guys soon. It's all
Fridge
winterized
or
though. Yeah.
go roll us a cup of noodles or something, you know.
That'll be easy to do.
We were
Izzy,
all
staying
sidetracked because Bailey has a little bird that lives in her house, a wild bird.
fascinating.
I know. We were really distracted.
Joan has birds that come in too.
Sorry,
Oh,
Rihanna.
yeah.
I came in when you were like, fascinating.
Bailey has a bird, just like Joan. They were just saying
fun.
that Bailey's got a little bird that lives in her house, a wild bird. And I was like, oh, so does Joan.
Oh, cool.
I was gonna
Rihanna,
grab
just
him, but I
wanted,
can't find him.
I just wanted to, because we kind of got cut off on our conversation, is that
Yeah.
for any of those that want to hear about other community updates, I told them to go ahead and put it in Padlet.
Yeah.
Because we have some really awesome things happening around this state. So it was great to hear.
That's such a beautiful segue into our season, like what we're going to be doing a little bit during our season this year. It's a little bit, the format of it is a little bit different. Shannon, do you want to talk a little bit about our meeting structure?
Sure. If I can remember, so pipe in when you're here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying something, Rianne. So what we thought we'd do, after, 2 years that Rand and I've been doing this and listening to everyone during our summer interviews and really what membership wants and needs, we've kind of decided to go that route this year with hearing some of those goals that we talked about during the summer. We heard from each community, but we also talked about at our advisory retreat as well, and putting those into our schedule for this year. So whether it was advocacy or civic dialogue, community interest, we talked a lot about training and workshopping. Different ideas came out of that. So we have a couple of areas we're going to do that throughout the year, and along with the civic dialogue. Was there anything else, Rianne, that we had really?
No, I just was building off the piece
Yeah.
of having meetings just specifically set on like networking and our breakout sessions. So what we just did with our community updates, instead of having every meeting be the full community update time, we're going to break it up into breakout rooms and then have more time on the rotation to have just the specific network and community update meetings. So the community interest in civic dialogue essentially is a fancy way of saying like what's happening locally around advocacy. What are some things that you all are doing in your agencies for advocacy for funding or your local coalitions? What are some things that you're talking to your community leaders about? So it's a time to share those various things and then also ask for help from one another. How are you all doing it? Who else did you contact? We're all connected to different representatives and leaders in the state. Some of us are related to them. Some of us are best friends with them. So it's great to have this network to be able to connect with those that in different areas of leadership that we might need as well. And then training and workshopping, just like Shannon said, like you all have some really great ideas of opportunities for professional development for ourselves and then like some workshopping that we can do. So we'll bring some people in to participate in those and lead in that as well. So that's kind of our year coming up, which is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to all these different conversation pieces and then ways that we can grow together. So speaking of summer interviews, we just wanted to give a short synopsis of our summer interview. So for those of you who are new and haven't participated in one yet, or if you forgot what it was, at the end of our season in June, typically June or July, Shannon and I meet with all the communities and we conduct the summer interviews, which is a 90-minute or more session, just depending on how much we chat, because it's like just a great catch-up opportunity for all of us to reflect on the last year, what happened, what are some successes, essentially what we did in our breakout room. What are successes? What are challenges? What are areas of improvement that we can do as the ECN? What trainings do you all want to see? Who needs to learn about the ECN? Conversations like that. So here's just a quick synopsis that from our summer interviews. So we had 15 out of the 19 interviews completed from this last year. So 19 communities that were a part of it. This synopsis essentially is pulled from the different communities that participated. So that was Girdwood, Central Kenai, Kotzebue, Nome, Petersburg, Sitka, Seward, Juneau, Kodiak, Mat-Su Valley, Dillingham, Homer, and Anchorage. And then CCPO and Thread also participated in summer interviews, but the questions were different, is more in terms of supporting the ECN in general and the different communities that they work with across the state. So some of the shared themes that we heard from community interviews was the workforce shortage and compensation. So a critical and universal theme is the struggle to attract, train, and retain early childhood educators. This is consistently tied to low wages and the high cost of living, which makes it difficult for families and providers to thrive. So we heard that a lot from those of you who are working on those different areas. We heard about infrastructure and capacity. Many communities are grappling with insufficient physical space for childcare. I know Nathan and Kasha, you can attribute to this because you just have a brand new building, same within Girdwood. It includes the lack of licensed providers in Dillingham, an outdated facility in Girdwood that's being rebuilt, and just general shortage of slots in places like Anchorage and the Central Kenai. We're also working on the needs for advocacy and collaboration. There's a strong and consistent belief that unified statewide voice is essential to drive the change that we're all looking for. We're all actively forming coalitions and partnerships, both locally and statewide organizations to advocate for funding and policy changes. And we also heard the importance of partnership. Across the state, communities recognize the need to break down silos and build stronger relationships with a variety of partners, including school districts, tribal organizations, local businesses, and healthcare professionals. So one of the things that I often do in my role as partnership lead is to help people in the communities, as you all do, um, have them connect to how they see themselves as part of the bigger picture of early childhood, whether it's a medical provider or a business partner. How do they see themselves in the bigger picture of early childhood? Because it's not just childcare, right? Early childhood is beyond that. Whoever is in the lives of children, youth, and families is part of the conversation, should be part of the conversation. So I think it's important as we build those partnerships, we remind them of how they get tied into there. Some of the challenges that we heard from everybody is workforce and training. We're needing more people in early childhood. We need funding and resources, learning how to advocate for those different things together. Partnership and communication. So figuring out our elevator speeches, getting connected to those who actually need to learn more about early childhood, and who we can build partnerships with. We just had an incredible visit. This is kind of a brag, but we just were in Annie and Jeannie's neighborhood in Dillingham and had the most amazing 3 days, not only because Annie and Jeannie are the best hostesses, but Dillingham was ready to see us and hear about all the things that not only Eka is doing and Head Start is doing, but all of us as ECN, and the changes that we need to see across the state. So I thought it was really great. And Annie, maybe you want to add to your thoughts, but I thought it was incredible that they got a new chief medical officer at the hospital at BBAHC. And during the partnership meeting, she's like, however I can join, invite me. Whether it's a nursing piece, a pediatrician piece, a community piece, I'm here and I want to join. And that was super exciting. And go ahead, Annie. You're going to say something?
It just was like I've never had a medical provider say that before. And like, I mean, like all you guys who live not on the road system or at least off it a little bit, people come and go, and it really depends on the personalities of who's in which positions. And so we will ride this train until she
Yes.
leaves and see what we can get put together before she bails out on us.
I love that. She's from New Jersey, I believe. So like city girl who's here in Dillingham, but she's super excited. And I've got lots of invitations for her, from the Threat Economic Impact Summit to coming to trying to see if Annie and Jeannie want to bring her to the ECN meetings to see what that's all about. Just trying to get her involved in all these different pieces. And if we can get that type of energy locally spread across all of our different communities, that would be really incredible. And then of course, all the different challenges that we all face, as Anna just said, lack of, being off the road system, and just all the various challenges that we have across the state. And so some of the priorities that you all are working on, so infrastructure projects, some really cool projects happening across the state in terms of building new physical spaces, building new coalitions, building new childcare providers and facilities all across. Super, super cool. Lots of focus on family support, things like diaper banks, baby showers, family days, community events. Abby had a really cool piece. Sorry to put you on the spotlight, but during your interview, you're talking about the event that was happening with the different pillars for the 100% community. And I just thought that was so cool how everybody has something going on and you have the experts in that pillar. And they were going to be there for the family event, which is super, super cool. Advocacy and education, everybody is working right now on how to get everybody together to understand the importance of these things, and then creating those strategic partnerships from the tribal to medical to your city councils and school districts. All those relationships in terms of the lives of children are really important. So based on our conversations and everything that we learned about the great stuff y'all are doing, these are some of our emerging goals that we found that we could start working on this year. So working on leveraging collective advocacy. So finding out and discovering what our collective voice for statewide action is this year. What does it sound like? What kind of voice do we want to have? What's our message? Establishing ECN work groups. So for different communities that are working on similar projects, how can we collaborate together? How can we have some time and some, information sessions per our similar work that's happening in our communities? And we talked about training and technical assistance, offering targeted trainings, whether it be about grant writing or about advocacy and policy. I know Abby put this, as a really great example earlier this year. Like, do we need the 101 or are we in like a 400 level area in this? And so being able to provide different opportunities for trainings based on our level of information and experience as well. And then strengthening our partnerships. So how do you drop the ECN to create some new to create some new relationships? Whether it's, hey, you need to learn about Help Me Girl. I got my friend Robin that you can call. Or, oh, someone at the state knows that. Let me connect you with Bobby Joe or Shannon. Or somebody in Girdwood just did that. Let's connect you with Crystal because she's not afraid to ask for money. Right, Crystal? So finding different ways to strengthen our partnerships based on our strengths and our experiences. So thank you all for the incredible time that we all had together. I know 90 minutes, especially in the summertime when the fish were running like crazy this year, as you all know. And Shannon and I made it to people's communities either in the phone or in person in July. So thanks for sacrificing a day of fishing or sunshine to be able to meet with us. We really enjoyed it. It's a very valuable time together. As you can see, it's helping us plan for this next year. So I'm going to pause my talking for a little bit and share it with my girl Shannon.
So just to segue into a lot of what this year was about. As you know, I think last year we shared the 2024 evaluation report that Stellar, who was our contractor, did on the ECN. And out of that, Rhiannon and I took it very seriously, and we took the recommendations and went forth with them. So I think last year, one of the recommendations that was the big impact this year was another form of communication outside of just meetings. And that's what you were asking for. And so we started the Padlet. And so just to let you know, we take the recommendations of what they put in their report, and we actually do go with them to try to increase either infrastructure, communication, whatever it is that we're working on. So we do have the 2025 evaluation report that Stellar just did. I think Rhiannon and I'm going to be transparent with the group. We weren't happy with their first report. And so we asked them to go back with some of our knowledge and documentation and reporting that we had and had them update some things. Just because as an evaluator, they're not there all the time. And we're with this group a lot more and doing a lot more conversing. So we do know where some of this pathways of communication is. So anyway, to go forth, next slide. Some of these evaluation questions, if you remember, they're all built on the 3 pillars, and it's all within considered network. And I believe it comes from the Center of Evaluation Innovation. So they're looking at these 3 areas: network connectivity, network health, and network results. So we as the facilitators want to make sure that our membership is getting everything that they need out of this network. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to have you guys waste your time. We just want you guys to talk to people if you need it, to figure out who you need to go to, where you need to go, and whether we can help you with that as facilitators or the network can do that with their membership in these different pathway communications, then that's where we're going to go. So just to let you know, those are the areas they really looked heavily on, is that network health, network connectivity, and network results. There are some key takeaways from this evaluation. I'm not going to go through all of them because we're going to end up putting this on Padlet, so you can read the full evaluation when you want to. It's a pretty easy read. It's very much formatted like last year's. But they took what they're saying is they saw a lot of improvements, and that's because we took what last year's recommendations and really used that to do some work for this year, one of which is Padlet. So these are just a few of the takeaways that they had. The ECN saw higher rates of attendance reported by survey respondents. You talked about a scheduling conflict, so we kind of put a survey out there what other times would work, and we tried to work within the parameters of what that survey said. It's not always going to work, we know that. Every year is going to be different, but if we can take the majority and make it work for people, that's what we're going to do. We needed to create more pathways for engagement, so it wasn't just meetings, and so we created the Padlet, which has the updates, it has our advisory, it has our interactive map. We try to keep it updated with trainings, with job openings. So that's our other form, our other pathway of communicating besides meetings. We have some other ideas for this year as well. And then overall, their look at it was that communication has improved, and that you guys reported, or 93% of you reported that the ECN communication tools in order to contact other members were effective, and that we're both, Rhiannon and I were responsive and easy to reach. So we want to make sure that either stays where it's at or keeps increasing. We don't want to see that number go down, because we've made big improvements over the past year. And we're hoping that you guys feel comfortable reaching out to members or to Rhiannon and I as well. So next slide. These are the recommendations that came out of the 2025 evaluation. And we're taking these to heart going into retreat and this year in planning. So recommendation 1, this is from all of membership, is developing concrete goals for the Early Childhood Network. We have the let's increase our voice, but what really are our concrete goals? The second recommendation was to strengthen internal processes for tracking participation in outreach efforts. So this was one of our conversations we had with the evaluation team. They only saw what attendance we had with the meetings. They didn't look at Padlet. They didn't look at emails. They didn't look at phone calls that we had with everybody. And so Rhiannon and I fought for those, because that was the whole part of this network, is something other than just meeting attendance. Because if you can't make a meeting, you can get it other places, right? If it's not in the agenda of something you don't want to hear, but you have a question on a diaper pantry or on building a playground, there's other ways that you can communicate. So we kind of rethought this one a little bit, and we are now looking at all areas that our ECN membership communicates. Recommendation 3 was improved distinction between affiliate members and members. That I think hopefully we improved that over the summer interviews, because we did talk a little bit more about the difference between affiliate members and members. Recommendation 4 is develop external communication resources. And then recommendation 5 is strengthen the advisory council. We had our first really advisory council retreat this year. That was a start, and it was in Kenai. It's just like our summer interviews. We're hoping, to grow that, meaning hopefully we can do it in another community next year and get out of just, like I think someone said, just the Anchorage area. Let's go all over the state where we have our members. And so I will make sure that the ECN evaluation gets put into Padlet after this meeting. So at your own time, you can read it. It's colorful, it's easy to read, like I said, and yeah, I pretty much got all the recommendations on the slide. So thanks.
That was a perfect segue into the advisory council retreat. Thank you, Shannon, for that. That's it's always great to see just the information collected. But yeah, Shannon and I are fierce advocates for the ECN, and so when we need some changes, we're going to ask for them. So it was nice to get a revision and some changes made to that report. So as we mentioned, Shannon mentioned, we had an advisory council retreat this year in Kenai, which was wonderful. We had like 10 of us, 8 of us participate. And so one of the wonderful things about Kenai, one is that I wasn't in Anchorage, which if you ever try and book a hotel in the summertime in Anchorage, it is wild. I could not believe so the hotel that we stayed at last year for the East End retreat was like $600 more than what we paid whenever we were there in February. So we decided to go down to Kenai and get out of Anchorage and play in Abby and Red and Casey's neighborhoods. And so it was nice to be down in Soldotna, Kenai area. And so one of the things that we connected with the college, Abby suggests we connect with the Kenai Peninsula College. And so when we asked to, you know, have a retreat there, expecting, a fee, they said that they were so impressed and grateful for the work that the early childhood coalitions across the Kenai Peninsula do in their communities that they were able to give us a free space to host a retreat. And so I think that that just speaks volumes to the work that Abby and Casey and Red and Brittany and Melanie are doing in their communities, that they wanted to provide space for us just to be able to continue this planning. So great work to everybody there. And we just felt really grateful for the connecting time that we were able to have together. So it was just a time for us to connect and plan for this year. Yes, thank you. Shannon, can you put the Padlet link in the chat so that we can send it out? So we talked about our community updates. Everybody was able to give a community update. We talked about the state of early childhood in Alaska. Shannon and Bobby Joe had a great presentation about the preschool development grant funding through the innovation grants and some of the COVID funds. And then we also talked about the ECN community stipends, which were very impactful across the state. Then we talked about the summer interview reflections and what that meant for our year of planning and sessions and everything. We talked about aligning strategic priorities. What does it look like for 25-26 year and the needs that you all expressed during your summer interviews and throughout the year. And then planning for our collective voice, and then working on outreach and new membership. So it was great. It was a super busy day. Lots and lots and lots of talking, but really incredible work, and that we were able to do to get things moving forward. And now we have something exciting. Our fall retreat is coming up here at the end of this month. In just a few weeks, it'll be September 29th through 30th. If you filled out the survey and said you were coming, thank you very much. If you said you weren't able to make it, we will miss you greatly. But know that it doesn't fit with everybody's schedule. I know Crystal is going to the Philippines on a great adventure, and so we will miss you greatly, but we're super excited for you to have some time to adventure with your husband. So we are going to be we're going to be lodging at the Spring Hill Suites. It's the Midtown Spring Hill Suites. And then right across the street is the Frontier Building, or as my husband calls it, the Spam Can. He's a native Hawaiian, and every time he drives by, he's like, it just looks like a giant Spam can. So that's how my family knows it. So there is a retreat room at the bottom of it. This is where the State of Alaska buildings are. And so we're going to be meeting downstairs in their training room. So it's Suite 100. It's right whenever you walk inside the building. You walk straight in the doors and all the way to the back, and that's where our retreat is. Right, Shannon? Or it's a one left turn right by yeah.
Yeah, if you go straight, you're going to hit CCPO, so it's the left.
Yeah. You can say hi to Christina and Bobby Joe.
We'll have some signs out for everybody.
We'll have signs there. So that it's just right across the street, so it's easy commute to get there. And then this was kind of, Shannon, I'm gonna also turn it to you we can talk a little bit about our goals for the retreat. So we took kind of the things that we wanted to talk about, the things from the advisory council and from the notes from our summer interviews, and Shannon's creativity. We came up with this, we used the Alaska version of a season wheel to come up with some of the ways that we're going to talk about stuff at the retreat. So each of the seasons has pieces that tie in not only seasonally, but also with our work. So we're talking about spring is emergence and listening. So honoring our identities and identifying the needs, talking about growth and goal setting, reflection and renewal, and harvest and commitment, all around our shared purpose, which is a thriving early childhood ecosystem rooting in our various communities. Shannon, did you have any other thoughts that you want to add to this?
No, I think this is just a draft, so this isn't kind of,
Yeah.
this isn't at all what it'll look like. It's going to be very similar, and it'll just be an activity we're going to add to throughout the 2 days that we're there. So we have something concrete, and then we'll also have it to put on our Padlet. This will also help with those goals that we've been talking about developing.
Yeah. We have been really advocating. So in the last couple years of retreats, we've had like activities, we've had just like time to connect and collaborate with one another. And so this session is more of like a work session together. We're going to have lots of that time, networking, collaborating, fun, all of it. But we're going to be doing a lot more time like work together in terms of what do I need to do in my community? What can we do for the ECN? And creating some time for that, for us to kind of like check things off and get things done. So the 2 days will be really good to be together and see what we can do in terms of goal setting, relationship building, partnership creating. Yeah, all of it. So it'll be really great. Shannon and I and the advisory council are working on the agenda, and we'll be able to send that out. I know a couple of you have asked for an agenda for if you are submitting for your own agency policies or support, and so we'll be able to send that out here pretty soon in terms of timelines. So it'll be 9 to 5 both days. We'll get started right away at 9 o'clock. So if you are a fancy coffee drinker, I want to get coffee. There's some coffee stands. Anchorage has plenty of them. But I think there's also, Shannon, is there a coffee shop in the building still? No,
There
did it go
isn't.
away?
No,
Bummer.
yeah, they're supposed to be getting a new one, but there's a couple floors that have like snack areas. So they have coffee, they have chips and that kind of stuff. But or not natural pantry, what's it called? It's right
Yeah,
across the street.
Natural Pantry's right across the
So,
street. Yeah.
and there's some coffee shops not too far.
Yeah. But we'll have lunches for everybody and snacks like we typically do throughout the day as well. And then we're planning to see, I know some of you expressed interest in getting together. So we're working on finding a space for us for dinner on Monday night if you're interested in attending. And so more details will come out for that as well. All right, I'm going to end the slideshow and open mic it. Is there anything? That was all of our presentation. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or things that they're like, I need to bring this up today at ECN? It's kind of open mic, open floor.
I just want to share with everybody, this is Tracy from Thread, that our our Retaining Our Outstanding Teachers Awards program just launched today. And eligibility for that has expanded this time. So if you haven't gotten that email, head over to our website. The banner across the top has all of that information in it. But definitely take a look if you haven't seen the information already. It's eligibility, you must be in the seed registry, and then current employees that are currently employed and paid employees in a licensed or approved childcare facility or school district or Head Start, infant learning program, and parents as teachers. So any of those, if you have any questions, reach out to me and I can connect you with who you need to talk to about it, but spread it far and wide.
That is awesome news. Thank you, Tracy.
Yep.
Super awesome. I'm so glad that you brought that up, Tracy. I meant to text you to give a shout out to that. Yeah, we've been trying to find ways. Can you also, along the thread line, can you also share a little bit about the Economic Summit?
Yeah. I don't have a ton of information about it, but the Thread is hosting their Economic Summit. It is going to be October 28th. I have travel September 29th and 30th, which is this, and then October 28th is the summit, which is a Tuesday. Um, and registration is open right now. If you can't physically travel into Anchorage to participate, which we would absolutely love, you can also register and do it virtual or attend virtually. It would be a great opportunity if you are able to come, and maybe if you have some business partners or other folks in the community that could participate in that. It's going to be a great space to talk about just bridging the gap in the economic development world and how that relates and can connect and support those conversations around really building the infrastructure of childcare in the state. So that'll be another really big fun event. And then also I told this in my little small group breakout, but also keep an eye out. We're not launching it today because the Roots launched today, but there is keep an eye out at the end of this week. We're going to be launching another program. It's going to be Business of Caring, the Business of Caring program, and it's going to be an enrollment process to help folks get licensed childcare. So unfortunately, it's going to be a short and condensed version, so it's going to feel a little different for folks because this is also out of some of that funding that is wrapping up at the end of the calendar year. So it's going to be pretty kind of just working individually with folks where they're at in the process and in the journey. So if you know folks that are anybody who's looking at doing that or interested in just having a conversation about what that looks like, have them take a peek at the website. It's not on there yet because it's not launched yet, but it's launching soon.
Thank you. And I reached out to the marketing manager,
Candace.
director. Sorry, I don't remember director. And so I asked about the registration fee for the economic summit, and so I got answers back. So there's a general admission fee is $75 to attend, whether that's in person or virtual. But the early educator admission is $50, and so it says for early childhood educators and program administrators currently working in a licensed child care program. This also covers any of us here in the ECN who are also working with in early childhood. So you can get the $50 registration fee for attending the summit. So if you're able to come in person, that would be wonderful. I will be there. I'm sure Tracy will probably be there. Will you be there? Okay. But if you're able to bring a friend to it, this is a great opportunity to bring somebody who's not in early childhood to help them learn about not only the work that you do, but the way that they can tie into the lives of children by bringing in the business community. So a lot of times, right, like we're all here, we're the choir, but like I always think about like my friends who I want them to learn about what I do. I'm like, you want to come to a summit with me? It's my dream come true that we can go to a work day together. And then you can tell your CEO, or maybe they can come with us. So this is how I'm trying to get my friends to come to work with me for a day. And I'm going to pay their fee. So Amy, do you have something to say? I see you came off mute.
Oh, no.
No. Okay. I was like, oh, do you have something to add to it? Sorry to put you on the spot. So it's a great opportunity to get people to come. It's a great conversations. I know that this is part of the expanding conversation of how do people fit into early childhood and do they see their place in it? So it's a great space for that conversation. Yeah. Anybody else have anything cool happening? Any cool events coming up that we can join you in?
If you know your legislators too, you can invite them, and legislators are getting a complimentary ticket. So if you have an in with them, you should get them to come too.
Yeah, Crystal, go for it.
I just wanted to say that I'm gonna miss you guys at the ECN retreat coming up. And yeah, this is a 2 year in the making trip for my 20th anniversary. So I just don't go to the Philippines all the time. It's certainly a huge treat for us. And then also wanted to just show you my bingo card from the last retreat because I'm 2 steps away from a bingo. So I'm just giving you guys a warning. I'm coming.
That's awesome.
And one of them is our electrical panel. But I did put electrical complete, and right now the electrical panel is up and it's on the wall, but it's not complete yet. So I'm close. So anyway, it's kind of been fun looking back at this thing and being reminded and like seeing these markers be hit. And so it's super enjoyable. And so thank you for the last one, and I'll be missing you guys and hope you guys have a great time coming up in a few weeks. That's it.
Yay. That's huge, Crystal. Hooray.
I do have one I'm going to put out there, and then I'll put it on our Padlet when it becomes live. But the Women's Children Family Health is we have a training module on our Moodle that's free, and it's called the Family Engagement and Leadership Training, FELT for short. It's designed to empower families, but even providers, just if they want to learn more about, advocacy and family leadership or family engagement, for families to become strong advocates and leaders in the systems where, either their children are or in their community. And this training, both Mariah and I've been through it. It provides tools, knowledge, support for families, and how to partner with professionals and the other way around, influence policy, create positive change in their communities. And it's really about turning lived experience into a leadership role. Through this, we are offering probably around $150 gift cards for the completion of this. And it can be completed at their own space and time because we know families are busy. So you can take 1 or 2 modules and then, not take another 2 modules for a week or 2 weeks. It's an awesome training, and it's going to go live here soon. Mariah, I don't know if we have a date yet, do we?
No, we don't have a date yet, but soon.
So we'll get all of that stuff out to all programs. We made a list today of programs and agencies and everybody we should send it to. But I'll also make sure it gets put on our Padlet, and it is free.
How about send that to my kids' PTO group?
Yes.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Chime in just real quick. And I thought about putting it on the Padlet, but it's not like specific to early childhood. And I feel like, I don't know how busy you want the Padlet to be, but the Alaska Impact Alliance, through their 907 navigation app, just put out a video on how to navigate the app specifically for kinship families. So I don't know if any of you guys support families, that are taking care of their relatives, but it's a whole, and there's a document, I'll put a link in the chat, but it's a cheat sheet essentially for all the different resources and agencies across the state that can support kin families. So just wanted to put that out there in case any of you guys are supporting families in that way.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. Perfect. Letting the silence fester a second before I go to wrap us up. Awesome. Okay. So this has been fun. It's 15 minutes, 12, 13 minutes before we're gonna our normal ending time. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. If you have not yet booked your tickets or sent your if you're attending the retreat, haven't booked your tickets or anything, go ahead and send you can book your tickets and then send the receipt to the email. It's like accounting at HUP2. And then we'll have that ready for after the retreat to go ahead and send out reimbursements. But other than that, it is, oh, look, another email from Marianne season, as Robin and Shannon joke around, because you know me with my emails. Letting y'all know what's going on. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for today, but I'll be sending an email with follow-up for the retreat and for Padlet stuff. And maybe it'll come from Shannon. So it's not just me. But it's
I have
so
no
wonderful.
access to the email, so it's all Rianne.
It just comes from me. I don't even go in that email. It's
Yep.
all full of
Oh,
spider
that's
webs
all
at
right. You
this
don't
point.
anymore. That's right. Okay, it may come
Don't.
from you guys.
Yeah. But let us know how we can support you. This has been awesome. So great to see everybody and welcome the new people. So wonderful. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. So take care, everyone, and we will see y'all soon. Have wonderful days.
Bye, everyone.